vocal and strong on what he thinks about the tax laws amendment bill, especially. Let's take a look at that, which is to do with the minimum top-up tax, that if a business is paying tax that is less than 15%, then they'll have to account for the balance. In such a case that you have to look at the total tax that you've paid versus, divide by the total income that you made, make a percentage of that, which will be whatever it is. Then if it's less than 15%, then you're going to account for the balance. The other proposal is on VAT changes. There are several, but just to highlight a few. The air ticketing services given by travel agents will now be VATable from exempt to 16%. Entry fees to national parks and national reserves will be charged 16% after being exempted for some time. The tour operator services will now be VATable at 16%. Pest control products and fertilizers will be exempted from taxation, from VAT, as well as the raw materials in manufacturing them, and so many other proposals that I will be highlighting. Mheshimiwa Kagushia, what is your take on some of this? Because I saw you are opposed. You actually said that for the national reserves and national parks, which is really owned by the government of Kenya, how do you charge a VAT on a service from the same government, money going to the same government? Please elaborate on that.
Yeah, maybe just to start with this, the economic presence tax. What they're looking at is a 30% tax deemed as a taxable profit. So you're looking at the 30%, and I think in this case the taxable profit maybe will then be the 10% of the total income. Then they take 30% of that. Yeah, so of course, the other issue, maybe just for the benefit of our viewers, is on that issue of the minimum top-up tax also. It's also important to look at the way the proposal is coming, that if you register a company out of this country, then you operate here, and maybe you are registering, let's say, in Mauritius or into any other country that is a tax haven, and that service you're offering here is taxable, then they will look at the tax that you're paying in that country where you have registered the country, your company, look at the difference, and you're supposed to top up that difference. You get me? So that is also important for our viewers to understand that...
Sorry, say that again.
There is an issue of people who register companies in the foreign countries because the service here is taxable.
Yep.
Let's say you want to do certain business in Kenya, but then you register a company out of this country where that particular service is not taxable. Then you do the business here in Kenya. So whatever you make here, and you have to repatriate back your profits, then you're looking at how much tax are you paying in that country, look at the difference with what Kenya is charging for the same service, then you pay the difference. So that is also meant to now ensure that you are not going to be registering a company outside to take advantage of the taxation laws in that country, yet you're doing business in Kenya.
Okay.
So that is important for our viewers to understand. Yeah, but then this amendment, the tax amendment bills of 2024 has quite a number of things. And Sam, if you can remember when we were here last, when we were looking at the finance bill, I think before people made noise and before there was public pressure, we had a session here with you where I highlighted a number of taxes which I really didn't believe in. And I remember you asking me whether I will vote blindly even when those taxes are not touched. And I remember telling you...
Those are not my words, though, but carry on.
I remember telling you on this platform that this time round, I'll be more careful and will be more critical of those taxes that were being proposed. And indeed, I highlighted them. Remember, like the issue of the motor vehicle tax, the issue of the bread tax, the issue of eco tax, all those taxes, and then you remember eventually they were removed. But of course, by the time they were being removed, Kenyans did not want to hear anything of that finance bill. But here we are again, and I have again raised the issues which I believe in these tax laws do not need to be there and do not need to have been carried in this particular amendment. Definitely there are some of them which are good. There are some of the proposals which are good. For example, the proposal that we are going to ensure that these many levies and funds that the levies we are paying, the housing levy, the issue of SHA, and the NSSF and all that, they're now going to be tax allowable. That is definitely a relief.
That's okay. We'll get to that. I just wanted to hear your views about some of those VAT proposals.
Yeah. Electrifying Kenya, very high. And it works to the disadvantage of Kenyans to a big extent, especially where they want to industrialize and where they also